give me a rundown of how the city operates as far as the hierarchy, where the mayor comes into play with the city council and the city manager?
Sure, that's fairly easy. Texas is really only two kinds of cities. One is called home rule, one's called general law. General law cities are typically smaller cities, under 5,000 population, and it's really easy to remember. As the name implies, they run under the general laws of the state of Texas. So their powers are very limited. All they can do is what the state has already told them they can do. And then once you reach 5,000, you can have an election by the residents and to become a home rule city. And a home rule, again, when I talk to the kids in school, I usually tell them, in your home, who makes the rules? And their parents. Well, in Frisco, the city council and mayor make the rules. It's the same thing. We can make any rule we want to make as long as the state has not overridden it and it's allowed by charter. And so we create a charter, just to kind of finish the rundown of if the voters approve it, and the charter tells us what we can do as a city. And the citizens decide that. So what's really neat in Texas, different than almost any other state, is almost every city is different. Every city's charter is slightly different in some form or fashion. And so in the charter, we are a council manager form of government, which means the best way to think about it is the city manager is the CEO of the company, hires and fires and runs the day-to-day operation. And the city council is the board of directors, and I'm the chairman of the board. In Frisco terms, it's a little bit different than that because we're such a fast-growing community, fast-growing city in the country. We're a team. So basically, the president of the Economic Development Corporation on the job side, our city manager who's on the operational side of the city, and myself, we work really close together. When we talk to companies, we go together. And the city council's role is to pass ordinances, laws, and they hire and fire city manager, city attorney, and city judge. They basically answer the city council directly.
So those are not the elected positions. The only elected positions are city council and the mayor.
Correct.
Okay. So what capacity does the mayor operate in? Because generally, if you have a council manager, the mayor position tends to be relatively weak, more of a figurehead, something that...
And most of the time that's the case, but with some very specific distinctions on that. I think there's the strong mayor form of government in Texas, and then there's what we call the weak mayor, which is really part of the mayor council form of government. And then you have the council manager form of government. In Texas, that's fairly defined, but again, city charters really address that. My role in the city of Frisco as the mayor is really threefold. So, say in ceremonial, that's a lot of people come in thinking that. In fact, when I got on council, that's what I thought the mayor did. Reality is it's fairly significant. For my three roles, one is public safety, emergencies. In Texas, a mayor of a city, of a home rule city, has the same exact powers over that city as the governor has over the state of Texas. I can call for evacuations, I can have you arrested if you don't evacuate, I sign emergency declarations, I ask for federal or state help, all the things that go along with that. I have those powers for emergencies. I am the director of the emergency planning in the city of Frisco, and I appoint somebody that oversees that. But in the end, that responsibility falls on me. So that's fairly significant. With that, I have had FEMA training and state training, and you don't have to, but probably pretty wise to really understand what you can and can't do. Second role I have is fairly simple, but it involves the city council. I am tasked with running the meetings of the city council, and that is a responsibility. I can have somebody removed, make sure the meetings flow, make sure we come to a consensus, and that's another role I have. The third is probably the most broad. I'm the official spokesperson for the city of Frisco. You start digging into that one, that really probably consumes 90% of my time, and that's about 80 hours a week, so it's a busy place around here. It means if I'm meeting with the Cub Scout boys, I'm representing the city of Frisco. I did 2 interviews so far this morning. I'm speaking for the city of Frisco. And that's typical. I'll do 5, 6, 7 interviews a week, sometimes TV, sometimes radio, sometimes newspaper. Also, when we're meeting with company CEOs, many CEOs are national or international, they don't really know a role of a mayor in Texas. To them, you make the decisions. And you explain that to them that you don't, but in the end, they want to know that they're welcome. So I've flown, to Buffalo to meet with a company to get them to relocate here. So that role of being the official spokesperson representing the council and the city is a fairly broad role, and it's probably takes up most of my time.